Alrighty, here we go with oh geez, Mooneyhams and Mamox 45.
Mamox and Moonham. Moonham and Mamox. One will lead one Pokemon, another will lead a different Pokemon. Probably a Nuxie from the Mamox, he likes to do that. As foretold. And the Hoopa comes out to counter.
Ah, you really didn't want to see the Hoopa there. That's a scary one against your Uxie, but you know you're faster, so you'll get at least one move out.
Yeah, it really shows the problem with dedicated leads and drafts. When it's this dedicated and you've done it so many times, it's a little predictable. I'd like to see him do some changes ups with the Infernape or even just starting with Tornadus to get some U-turn action going. But Moonham in a good position. Just go straight for the Hyperspace Fury. Critical hit.
Woo!
He's got the berry though. The berry keeps him in it through the crit and the U-turn one
Oh,
shots back.
you won.
What an exchange. Everything I said was a lie. It was a trap.
So he doesn't go for the stealth rock. He doesn't go for a screen. He goes for a U-turn, probably physically invested, or maybe not, just because it's 4x against the Hoopa.
I don't know about that. That thing's regular stats are just all in its bulk, really. But now we got the Keldeo facing off against the Manectric coming in. Not the matchup you want if you're a donkey.
Yep, yep, and
Got that right.
swapping to the Tornadus, which is honestly risky. Yeah, he's gonna take a Thunderbolt there. Doesn't get paralyzed, luckily. He's gonna be
Honestly,
outsped here, though.
takes the Thunderbolt well enough for me to be curious if it's assault vested.
Yeah, that could be a possibility, but you're still slower here than the Manectric, so you got to be careful about pressing U-turn. You may have to go with the manual swap.
Yeah, and with the rest of your team, it's kind of like you need to throw away the Uxie here and then get a clean swap in against the Manectric. I'm not sure what else wants to take a Thunderbolt from it, but the Volt Switch, the Tornadus does tank the Volt Switch. It's lower power showing there.
Yeah, and you gotta guess
Celesteal
he
will come in.
pressed U-turn. Yep, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah. No Rocky Helmet to punish the U-turn. Only 2% damage done. Celesteal will most likely reveal that it has leftovers healing that up.
I really would have liked to have seen a manual swap there instead of a U-turn, but you know. Ooh, and an earthquake. Maybe expecting a swap, but Celesteela is ready to fight this Infernape, I guess.
Yeah, it had to be a read for the Heatran to come in. I like the Tornadus swapping in here, going to be able to reproc the Regenerator. This is why I was so willing to let that Tornadus take the hits, is it'll just be able to heal up. Infernape is taking some chip now, though. Will he go for the fire attack now? Will it be the Heatran now? Last time the Heatran even had a balloon, so it would even potentially be safe against an earthquake, depending on its held item.
And he goes for the normal effectiveness close combat instead of maybe like a crossover heat or
Yeah,
fire
yeah,
blast.
a good middle ground move there, though. But we see the Celesteela just take it very well with its stats and just heal up off the Leech Seed. Tangrowth will be able to come in and take the heavy slam. Takes it harder than I'd imagine from a Tangrowth, to be honest. Could it be a mixed Tangrowth with a bunch of special defense? We see the knockoff coming out, so only attacking moves so far. Could be assault vested.
Bunch of regenerator here. Maybe go with a manual swap here, but no, he's going to leave him in and just presses knockoff again. Gets rid of the balloon, which is actually a pretty big deal here when you have Infernape pressing Earthquake.
Yeah, this does remove a bit of the mind games, removing that balloon with the Infernape. Actually, I take that back. It kind of heightens them a little bit more.
Oh, and the
Oh,
Earthquake from the Tangrowth, a classic move from Tangrowth, is great.
Yeah, Moonham expecting a free rocks there, but the Tangrowth just sitting in saying, I need to push damage on you.
Oh, survives the Magnastorm well, takes him down, and that will allow him to swap out.
Yeah, it's got to be an assault vested Tangrowth here. But this is the big problem. This Manectric is just tearing the team apart. Something has to be able to come in on it, or he's going to lose the Tangrowth. This might, again, be the time to throw out the Uxie. He does. It does just die. Does Manectric take advantage? No, goes for the Thunderbolt just to push the damage forward. Bringing that Pokemon count a bit more even, but really just kind of revealing how low that Uxie was.
So do you just throw the Tangrowth back out and you know maybe just double
Oh,
swap?
against a flamethrower? I'm not too sure.
Well, I'm saying try to
Yeah,
do a
he
double
could go
swap
into the
and
Tornado, but with those rocks out, it's just a lot of chip damage. It's hard to really get good advantage on this.
yeah, just with the double regenerator, I think you may want to go into Tornadus and then back to Tangrowth, and maybe you get Moonham to manually swap or Volt Switch at one of those times to get out of the rotation.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a Volt Switch right here.
Because Regenerator does heal more than the rock damage. So, no, leaves him in. He goes down. And he's going to get the clean reset here. I don't think he has anything faster, but yeah, the
Yeah, that's going to
Thunderbolt.
be the big problem here. This Manectric is something that's going to be hard to remove. The Thunderbolt's going to, the Tornadus does survive. The
Oh,
Hurricane comes out, resisted, but the Confuse does land.
time to roll the dice.
Either that or just swap it out. You know how important this Manectric is? It's just broken two things. It has a lot more value it can get. It's Flamethrower for the Mawile, it's Electric Attacks for the Donkey. The Infernape's already been chipped down. This is your important piece right here.
So if you're Mammox, I think you've got to go to Mawile here. Like, I don't. Like, if you're expecting the swap out, like, this is your chance. You got to take a risk. But no, stays in, presses the U-turn, so he will get the advantage here because of the hurt on the confusion. So let's see if he goes to the Mawile here and tries to get a little bit of advantage.
I mean, with that Flamethrower, he really has to trust that Sucker Punch to be able to kill it 41%. It's taking a little bit of time weighing his options. Could still have some priority, namely in the Infernape, but that Infernape is low, around 30%, and it will take the rocks damage. The good news is the Tornadus is healing up a bit of that damage that it took off of the Regenerator, so it will be able to re-enter. But again, those rocks just getting great value. Heatran paid for those rocks in his lava magma blood.
Yeah, if it were me, I think I'm going Mawile here. Yep, and goes with the Mawile. We'll see it Mega Evolve, and I think you just gotta press Sucker Punch, like,
It's hard to say because if yeah, he goes for the sucker, it does kill. That's very good there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was curious if Moonham would just go for the hard switch, knowing the importance of that Pokemon. He does still have the Celesteela, a great defensive wall. Mawile will have to be prepared for it with its coverage moves. Porygon can threaten offensively and have some good non-attacking moves to play the change-up game. Mamoswine's got the priority to mess up the sucker punches.
And Earthquake.
Yes, and very much threatens with the earthquake.
This is probably a swap out here as much as you don't want to. I think you're going to have to go to your air Pokemon, whatever that thing's called, Tornadus.
The big question here is the Mawile set up for the Celesteela? If not, I may like just getting wet damage I can, expecting the earthquake with the sucker punch.
Oh, man.
Hard swaps to the Porygon Z. Hard swaps to the Tornadus. 25% from the rocks.
Wow. And you know you're faster here, unless this thing is scarfed, but I think you have an opportunity. Oh, and it's got the Z move. It is faster, and it gets all of that. It's into the electric typing against the Tornadus. Presses U-turn though. With the electric typing, the I don't think it converts the moves. So yeah, he goes to the Infernape, and at this point, I think you go with honestly either stab works. Probably the fire stab.
Yeah, it's just about that speed, and we see the Mach Punch coming in to chip it down some. He's going to trust his Mawile to be able to kill with the Sucker Punch again. That has to be the play here.
Yeah, I still don't
Porygon's
know
going to
what
still be
you're.
back in the recover.
I don't know. I don't know about that mock punch there. I think I would have liked to see something else, but maybe he just figured he's slower in this configuration.
And here comes the Donkey. It's time for the Donkey to die to the electric moves. It's my favorite part of every match.
Yeah,
We will
Thunderbolt here.
Hassan Piker the Donkey.
Plus
Shock
one
it.
stab Thunderbolt into the donkey is going to be quite strong.
Quite.
Keldeo doesn't have any priority moves. Yep, Thunderbolt one shots it.
And the only chance there was a Scarf.
And now, yeah, he's going to send the Tornadus back out.
And I don't understand all of this. I feel like the plan was clear. It has to be the Mawile to try and take it out with the Sucker Punch.
I
Find out
agree.
if it has the recover, but he's just throwing away his other Mon to the Porygon before he sends out the Mawile.
Yep. You have to press the Sucker Punch, and it would have. It's really your only shot at taking this Porygon Z down. You may have lost two Pokemon there unnecessarily if this is, if Sucker Punch is the
Yeah,
play.
and not knowing its move pool, you even could have gone for just a stab play rough or something like that. Does go for the Sucker Punch, 42%. We see massive damage there. The hit power
Oh, and
does
it
take out
crits,
crit to clean it up.
and he takes him down.
Oh.